Hello, students, and welcome to Amrita IAS Academy. Students, in this particular video, we will be doing a trend analysis of the questions that have come in GS1 paper pertaining to world history. Kindly note, we will be doing an 8-year analysis as it is given on the screen, that is from 2013 to 2020. So let's begin. Now, students, the idea of analyzing any particular subject within UPSC is very important because it helps you anticipate what kind of questions can be asked in the examination. And since we have such a bulky syllabus, we can prioritize those topics that have a likelihood of appearing in the paper. Keeping that in mind, we analyze the previous year papers and take out the most important topics. Now, students, when we talk about the weightage of world history in GS1 mains paper, then you can see that from 2013 to 2020, the weightage gradually is decreasing. When you talk about history, it is divided into two parts, that is Indian history and world history. Indian history comprises of your ancient period, medieval period, modern period, your art and culture section, and your post-independence history. Whereas there are many topics under world history as well, which we will be discussing very soon. If you will see the trends of the questions that are asked in the mains paper pertaining to history, you will see that most of the weighted students these days is given to ancient, medieval and modern history, whereas post-independence history or world history are not that significant. However, students, I would like to tell you that UPSC likes to surprise their aspirants, and suddenly we may find that there are one or two questions from either of these topics, that is post-independence or world history. Keeping that in mind, students, you can see that in 2013, 40 marks almost were dedicated to world history, whereas if we come to last 4 years, in 2018 and 20, no question has been asked from world history, whereas only a single question in 2017 and 19 have come up in the paper. So we first prioritize the time periods, that is ancient, medieval and modern. And if we have more time left in our hands, we definitely look towards world history as well. Now, students, if we move further and understand the syllabus of world history, it includes important events such as the Industrial Revolution that had happened in the 18th century. At the same time, you can see that some European powers were colonizing parts of the world, and those colonies have a very important history which forms a part of your syllabus. Sooner or later, students, all these colonies realized that they were being subjugated and dominated by these foreign powers. So one by one, they started protesting for their freedom and they were ultimately freed. And this process is known as decolonization. So what happened during that time period and what happened after they got their freedom is something that is also a part of your syllabus. Of course, students, whenever we talk about world history, the two most unfortunate and very famous events are our World War I and II. So what were the reasons that led to the world wars? What was the course of world wars? And what was the impact if any particular treaty was created? So on and so forth will be part of your world war syllabus. Apart from that, students, many national boundaries were redrawn as a part of our world history between the 18th and 19th century. So it will also be very important. Apart from this, from the 18th century, when the ideas of nation state were beginning to come up, at that point of time, we see that a lot of political philosophies or ideologies such as capitalism, socialism, communism, etc. were forming and these were also shaping the society. Apart from this, students, we have some important revolutions that had happened, such as the French Revolution, the American Revolution, or the Russian Revolution, that not only changed the history of these countries, but they also impacted the histories of other countries, particularly the colonies of the European powers. For instance, students, the French Revolution and Russian Revolution deeply inspired the Indian freedom movement as well. I'm sure all of you are aware of it. So, the impact of these revolutions, even on the colonies, is something that becomes an analytical part of your world history syllabus. Now, let's try and understand some deeper aspects of all these topics that we have discussed. Now, students, when we talk about the era of industrial revolution, at that point of time, we also see many new things that were coming up as changes within the polity, society, and economy. One of the biggest change that European countries witnessed after the Industrial Revolution was the process of Renaissance or rebirth, that was kind of a cultural rebirth of the society. At the same time, students, once the Industrial Revolution had happened, it led to a lot of inventions in technology, and after that, there were discoveries of sea routes to many other countries, which led to the formation of colonial empires. Very closely associated to Renaissance is the process of Reformation as well, which will be very important for the world history syllabus. Apart from that, students, as you can see, since the colonization process had become very evident during the 18th century, there was a rise in the slave trade, and this is one very important topic on which questions have been appearing in your previous year papers. As I already discussed with you, this was also a very important time for some countries wherein there were revolutions happening to create a type of political setup, which includes the American War of Independence and the French Revolution. Apart from this, students, since there was rise in colonialism and at the same time industrial revolution had happened, naturally capitalism, the idea of capitalism, the idea of making more and more wealth, and the idea of imperialism was on the rise. So these ideologies, these revolutions, and these processes such as slave trade, Reformation, and Renaissance will be very important, particularly in the 18th century. Moving further, students, in the end of 19th century and the beginning of 20th century, the world was changing. There were a lot of tussles between important powers, and ultimately it led to the First World War in 1914. Now, when we read about the First World War, some important aspects that you need to keep in your mind includes the causes of the war, what was the course of the war, and what were the important treaties that had happened at the end of World War One. Meanwhile, students, in between around 1918, the Russian Revolution had also happened, that not only had an impact on the political history of Russia, rather, it also deeply influenced the Indian freedom movement, wherein the ideologies of socialism and communism were on the rise. Apart from that, students, when it comes to World War One, you will also understand about the consequences of the war and the League of Nations that was formed after the World War One. Now, students, between the ending of World War One and the beginning of World War Two, there were many things that had happened in the world history. For instance, students, the ideologies of the deep right ideologies of fascism and Nazism have developed in Italy and Germany under Mussolini and Hitler, that led to persecution of certain communities. At the same time, students, from the economic standpoint of view, there was Great Depression. At the same time, students, some important powers, two power blocks, that is the Soviet Union and the USA, had come up on the global front. And at the same time, students, at this point of time, colonial freedom struggles, nationalist movements had started gaining a lot of momentum in the colonies of Asia and Africa. So these are some topic, students, that form a part of your syllabus of world history that you need to take care of. Moving on, students, we have the Second World War that began somewhere around in 1929. And as a part of the World War, students, you will study about the fascist aggression and how it was the Western democracies responded to it, because of which the World War II happened. So basically, this is the background of World War II. Then students, ultimately the Second World War outbroke, and then we understood the course of the war. In the Second World War, students, USA also participated, and after this it became a global power. So students, again in World War II as well, you will understand the background, then the course of the war, and then what were the after effects of this particular war. Apart from the students, an important theme in world history is decolonization and the redrawal of national boundaries. Now, under this theme, students, you have to understand about the rise of Asia and Africa. That is, all the colonies that were liberated from the shackles of European power. What happened to them? What was the course of their freedom struggle? And what happened after they got their freedom? Also, students, in this particular theme, one important topic will be Cold War. Cold War is a very important topic. It has been recurrently asked in previous year questions. Also, students, some regional wars such as the Korean War, the Vietnam War, Cuban crisis, and the collapse of Soviet Union are something that you need to study when it comes to the decolonization process. Finally, students, we talk about the political philosophies that had come into the global arena as a part of world politics, which includes ideologies such as communism and socialism that are understood as left-wing ideologies. And then, of course, we have capitalism that is considered as a right-wing ideology. So students, this sums up your entire breakdown of the world history syllabus. I hope you have understood that these are the main topics on which you have to study and from where most of the questions appear. Moving on, students, we will understand the book list or some important sources that can help you understand from the basic level to advanced level of world history. Now students, as always, when we talk about understanding or clearing basics of any particular subject in UPSC, we always look towards our NCERT books. Students, NCERT books are very underrated, but on the other hand, their language is very lucid and they can help you create a very strong base. Now, our class 11's new NCERT is absolutely dedicated to the developments in world history, which is very much recommended. Then students, we have the old NCERT that was written by Arjun Dev, and it is also shedding light on all these topics that we have discussed as a part of our syllabus. Apart from that, students, we have these three books which are comparatively famous when it comes to studying world history. I would request you that don't read all of the books. Don't try to read more and more sources. Rather, you read one source, especially for world history and post-independence, since the questions are very less. The frequency of questions is very less. So don't waste your time on many sources. Now, out of these three book, students, my personal favorite is Jain and Mathur. Jain and Mathur is absolutely going in a way in which the syllabus is mentioned on your UPSC website. So I would recommend that after completing your NCERTs and making a stronger base, you can proceed with the history of modern world that is written by Jain and Mathur. It gives you a good perspective from an Indian point of view of the world. Let's proceed further, students, and now we'll have a quick look on the different type of questions that had appeared pertaining to world history in our previous year papers. So 2020 students, we did not get a single question from world history. In 2019, we got just one question from world history, and it was a very basic question about the American and French Revolution and how it helped in laying the foundation of the modern world. So again, students, when I had told you that during the 18th and 19th century, some important revolutions had happened, which are very important. That is the American War of Independence, the French Revolution and the Russian Revolution. Not only did they change the history of these particular countries, rather they had an immense impact on other other colonies as well, which were under the shackles of European powers. Apart from that, students, when we come to 2017, again we just got one question, and it is from the subtopic of decolonization, and it is talking about Malay Peninsula. Apart from that, students, we had spoken about the process of colonization and decolonization. In that same head, you will find one question in 2016. And apart from that, in 2015, we have got two questions which are again from the very recurrent themes and very prominent topics of world history, that is the Industrial Revolution and the World Wars. Moving on to 2014, students, again it is talking about the the process of colonization, and it is specifically talking about the process of colonization in India. Then students, we have the new economic policy of Lenin, which comes under the concept of decolonization and the political philosophies that had come up on the global platform, such as communism, socialism, and capitalism. Now, these ideologies impacted the economy, polity, and society of some of the many important countries, students, and one of them was India, and that is why this question has appeared. Moving on, students, if we see 2013, it is again talking about the Industrial Revolution. Then there is the question from the theme of colonization and decolonization. Then again, students, one question on the different revolutions. Herein we have a question on American Revolution. And finally, students, with the economic history point of view, we have a question on Great Economic Depression. So, in conclusion, students, again, I would like to tell you that these are some major topics that if you cover at least 4 or 5 of them, there is a likelihood that you will be able to strike those 1 or 2 questions that appear rarely in GS1 these days. Again, students, I would like to tell you, please prioritize your Indian history first, and then after that, if you get time, then you prepare for world history, because the maximum weightage, even if we get more questions on world history again in 2021 or upcoming exams, the maximum weightage will be 1 or 2 questions, but Indian history by far will have the largest weightage. So students, with this, I am completing my discussion. I hope you have understood how you need to approach world history. Thank you so much and have a nice day.